Hey property managers, welcome to another Scale Club scoreboard update, this time for the month of March 2025. You guys might see that I've got somebody a lot prettier over here to the side of me, and that's because we've got some shockers on the Scale Club scoreboard, and I just wanted to bring somebody else in who could chat with you guys about what we're seeing and what you should be doing to make sure that you're still doing some things to grow your company in what we've seen is an unusually slow month of March. So before we dive into those things, I just want to walk you through the scoreboard and show you what we're seeing. So you will see here that for March of 2025, you will see the average number of doors that we have across our entire community of 6, which is down just about 25%. Honestly, that's about 2 doors from February of 2025. We also have 11 doors for our top 50%, which is equal to what it was in February. You'll also recall that in February, we were predicting that there was going to be a big release coming in March and saying that, hey, February was a little bit slow, but that was completely anticipated. Now we have March, which is also a little bit slow, which is kind of weird. So we are going to take a look at that. We're going to break it down today for you. But we've got Phoenix coming in at a whopping 90 doors. Those guys are absolutely crushing it out there, and we could not be happier to see their success. Reese will talk a little bit more about what that was and how they really achieved that. So can't wait to talk with you about that. We've got Memphis, Tennessee, always a consistent performer. Believe it or not, down at 20 doors this month in the month of March. And then we've got San Diego, California at 15, Sacramento at 13, Oklahoma City at 12, for a total of 301 doors, which was down from the month of February. Overall, leads in our community is down by just 1, and that is at 15, and our clients are sitting at about 78% of goal. So Reese, with these numbers, we saw some surprising statistics.
Yeah, we did. It was not what we were expecting for March. The lead volume seemed to be pretty consistent from what we've seen in the prior months, but door closings was a huge shocker for what we were expecting. I really can't put a finger on it like right now, but a lot of the feedback that we were getting from our Scale Club community was these leads that are coming in are not looking to do their property as a rental property until the summer, which is a little concerning, right? We're going to have an inventory backup during a time where inventory is naturally higher, where people are moving around. So we are definitely going to be on the lookout for that and see if it translates into a big inventory summer on the rental side.
So, reflected in the scoreboard, I said we've got leads are about equal, down by about 1. Have you seen that in the Scale Club community, and do you see leads picking up coming into April?
Yeah, leads have been pretty consistent. Back half of March really picked up. The first part was really slow on the lead side. So leads have been pretty consistent, but again, the conversations have not been insta-close leads, which is a little different. Typically we see a blend, and it's been heavy on the side of, hey, we're just kind of shopping. We're 30, 60, 90 days out before we're going to put this property on the market.
I get that. Okay, so longer lead times, we're looking at longer sales cycles.
Yep.
Close is taking a little while. What are some things we're doing in our community as we see that, right, as a trend? How are we keeping people accountable for ensuring that these deals that didn't close in March do close later down the line?
Yeah. So the first component is education. So when these types of owners are calling in, what we're talking to our community about is educate them on the 5 phone calls that they received prior to talking to them have had the exact same plan. So letting them know that if everybody has the exact same plan and putting their property on the market at the exact same time, you have an inventory influx, days on market are going to go up and the prices are going to come down. So educating these owners or prospects when they call in and letting them know that maybe now is time to push the urgency button, get this out there prior to the summer coming around so that they have the best opportunity for success. Now, not every owner is going to be able to change their move date and their relocations. So the secondary piece of it is follow-up. You've got to keep a consistent check-in cadence with these types of prospects so that you can make sure you're staying in touch with them, continuing to build a relationship so when the summer does come around and they're ready to make that decision, that you have a very strong relationship and you can get them on the market immediately.
Yeah, I know that the whole follow-up game, the whole nurture game, like that is something that you have to continue to push. I think a lot of these BDMs and even owners expect that these leads are just going to close in the next day.
Yeah.
What are you seeing for average sales cycles approximately right now?
Yeah, so we're looking a little over 30 days right now, which is interesting because I have seen BDMs in these prior months where we're getting some 7 to 14 day sales cycle where people have had them on the market or you've got an investor looking to make a change. But there seems to be this new wave of leads where it's extending out. They're doing a little bit more shopping. There's a little bit more trust building. So we have our community leaning into that harder than ever, making sure that they know everything about this prospect, what they've got going on in their life so they can develop that relationship and look at it as a positive. A lot of BDMs initially, when they're like, oh, they're not closing today, they get a little frustrated. But what we want to position that as is that gives us a little bit more opportunity to educate and bring them in as an ideal fit client and understand the expectations of what they're going to see when they sign up with us. So instead of looking at it as glass half empty, we look at it as half full. And what can we do with this if the sales cycle is a little bit longer? So we've taught them to even ask those prospects if they know anybody else is in the same situation as they're going through the sales process.
I love that. I think that's great. Well, on Friday, we were on with the entire community doing a skill development, and man, it received amazing feedback from the BDMs, which, you know, we were a little bit like, I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Let's try this out, but got great feedback. Tell me a little bit about that skill development session that we had and what BDMs got to experience.
Yeah. So we've been leading in a lot of rent scale with sweat equity versus check equity coming around outbound. Last year, Hannah and I went to Jeb Blunt's Outbound Conference out in Texas, learned a lot about how to generate those types of leads. So we brought that to the community for this first quarter. First skill dev in January was all about building a list, where to go find those opportunities where you can go reach out to new prospects. Second, in February was all about the messaging behind it. And then last Friday, we put it to the test. We made people do it live in front of all their peers. And you should have seen the red camera faces that came on when they found out what they had to do.
Yeah.
But everybody did it. They learned something inside of that, and it gave them the confidence now to go out and reach out to people that don't even know who they are as part of their outbound prospecting plan.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot, gave our BDMs a lot of confidence by doing it in front of their peers so that they can go out and do it for prospects. So I'm looking forward to see the results, especially as we're leading into the summer months where there may be a lot of accidental landlords out there. I think it's a great opportunity.
I agree, and I also think with things kind of slowing down, sales cycles extending out, doing that outbound prospecting, I mean, we know it's important. We've always preached, like, from the beginning how important the outbound prospecting is, but when you're in a phase like this is what saves your sales months, the outbound prospecting, the extra steps, the stepping out, the uncomfortable. But our community is really embracing it. It's all about a mindset.
They are, and they're stepping into the uncomfortable. We're doing it as a team versus doing it individually. So they're getting some feedback from some people that have been doing it for quite some time. We're getting some industry experts that are coming in as well. So it's been well received, and I think there's going to be a huge momentum behind this as we roll into the coming months, as we do it together, scheduling those one-on-one outbound calling sessions to generate leads for people that would have never even known who they were unless they made that phone call.
I love that. Okay, last thing I want to talk to you about today. We've obviously got an outlier here on the scoreboard. Phoenix, Arizona at 90 doors. You know, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And 90 doors, how long has this company been in business?
Company's about 2 years now.
Okay.
And one thing that I've been working with the owners of this company on was the sweat equity piece of it. So we really worked on the reputation of the company from a digital standpoint. So the entire company got behind this culture of 5-star experiences, started asking anybody and everybody. And not only were they asking, but they were delivering a 5-star experience. So out of the blue, because of that reputation, they had a lead call them with 84 doors and strictly found them because of their reputation. And during that conversation, price was not mentioned one single time. Because of the reputation, they almost felt like they had to pay whatever to be a part of this company. So it just goes to show you, if you do the right things, have the right culture, you can have some big things that come down the pipeline. And I was super proud of those guys that did that. I know they put a lot of work into it. Now they're into the onboarding part, so they've got all the admin work that goes behind it. But super proud of what they've done and the continued push for reputation that they're going to have.
Yeah, that's incredible. 90 doors, not a mention of price.
That's
and
wild.
2 years in business. They've scaled so fast.
Yep.
And they've been with Rent Scale since day one, just trying to work through and figure out this whole entire thing. Well, huge congratulations to those guys. That's absolutely incredible. And we wish them nothing but more and more success as we continue. All right, guys. Well, that's it for our Scale Club scoreboard update for March. Reese, when we come back in April, are we going to have better news for these people?
I believe so. I think the pipelines are building up the second half of March. We're going to start seeing some of those deals starting to fall in and start the slingshot for the summer months.
Okay, I like hearing that. I'm sure you guys do too. We will be back at you shortly, but for now, back to you, Jeremy.